Nathan Cox here, guys. Thanks again for joining me for my electrical series. I'm making videos on the different tools you can use to detect electricity, and now we're going to start with changing out some of the outlets and other things like that. You'll see different videos popping up at the top right of your screen, which will link you to the other videos, along with clickable links in the description down below for the entire series. Now, what we're going to do in this one is we're going to change out this outlet. This outlet isn't actually bad, but let's assume it is bad. Let's assume that maybe it broke on the inside, maybe it's worn out and the cords just fall out of the outlet, or maybe someone painted over it, okay, and they got paint on the inside and they jacked it up. Either way, outlets are very inexpensive, standard outlets, okay? We're talking like 75 cents. Now do yourself a favor and go to a hardware store that has an actual electrical supply department. Don't go to some dollar store or anything else like that, because they do have some generic, very cheaply made outlets that look very similar, but I've worked with them before, and they're prone to fail. They're prone to crack, break, do other things like that. So please go to an actual hardware store with an electrical department, whether it's a big box hardware store or you're just a small local hardware store. Get a quality outlet, okay? We're going to use a voltage detector so that I know that this has no power, because we're going to shut that off before we start. A couple of straight screwdrivers and a Phillips, needle nose pliers, and I happen to have some wire cutters here, wire strippers, cutters. I probably don't need these, but I might. So these are the tools we're going to start off with. So some of you might be like, what the heck is a voltage detector? Well, I just made a video on that. Check the links popping up right there so you understand what's going on here. But I'm going to shut the power off to this outlet. First thing, I don't want any power. Okay, how awesome was that? Alright, went to the breaker box, found the right breaker, and we're off. Obviously, next we're going to take off the cover plate. Okay, boom. And now we're going to take out, just unscrew the outlet. We're going to take this off. We're going to be careful about taking it off because it's got paint over the tops of the outlet. I mean, you know, the brackets here, not the actual outlet, but we want to tear the sheetrock, so let's stick this screwdriver behind it and make sure that the paint doesn't tear up the wall. There we go. Okay, now we have a loose outlet. Alright, and we got lucky here. This outlet has only got two wires, one negative, one positive, and the ground. Okay, so it's a little simpler to work with. We don't have to have a set of four. The reason why an outlet would have the four wires, not counting the ground, or two pairs, is that the wires would come to this outlet and then travel to the next one. Okay, kind of piggyback from one outlet to the next. That's how they do a lot of the wiring. Okay, so that just makes this one simpler, but we still get this right idea. Now some people were like, well, you know, I don't want to like do these little screws on the sides, I just want to stick it in the back. I'll show you that in a minute what I'm talking about. Alright. Like I said, we already know the power's off, so we're clean here. Okay. Outlet is out. No worries there. So we have the black, which is the hot wire, we have the negative and the ground down here. Okay? New outlet. Now, as you can see here, there are little holes in the back of the outlet, and depending on which outlet you have, let's see if it's this one says, there is a maximum gauge that this will accept, where you can just take the wire and shove it in those little holes instead of wrapping it around, you know, the screw studs there. And then these little slots right there. So you got the hole, and then you have the slot, and that little slot right there, you can stick a very small screwdriver in there and release the wire. So if your wire is in the back of this already, and you need to get it released, you stick a small screwdriver. Okay. You stick a small screwdriver like this into there, and it should release the wire. Okay. Sometimes they give you some trouble. I prefer putting it on the screw studs because it's just a stronger way. I've seen those quick insert holes. I've seen them let go. Okay, the screws are just better. So that's what we're going to do. Now, if your wires are straight, you're going to want to curl them, and you want to curl them in the direction that your screw is going to screw in, so in a clockwise fashion. Now these ones are already done for us because they were on the screw studs. Alright. Alright. Now I do, just because out of habit, even if you're not using that screw, I like screwing it down in there just so they're not hanging out. And a lot of times the Phillips screwdriver is not strong enough, or it doesn't grab hard enough to really get that torque down the way I like it. That's why I have this other straight screwdriver, the bigger one, and get it in there and turn it just a little bit tighter. And since the ground is on this side, we're going to go ahead and do the ground as well. Okay. I just feel that the Phillips on these ones here just slip a little bit. Okay, I like just finishing it up with the straight screwdriver. We're going to just screw in the one we're not using. Tighten that one up. Torque it down. Now the black's going to go on the right side of the outlet. That's the way it is in the United States. And I think most anywhere here is using the standard 110 to 120 voltage. Alright, so we have the black here. The white is on the left. Okay, along with the ground. The white and the ground are going to be on the same side. Okay, because they're very similar and they can actually do each other's job. Okay, and that's pretty much it. We already know that all those screws are tight. Push it back into place. Get that one started, or line this one up, get that one going. Alright, we're going to kind of try to straighten her up a little bit there. There is a slot in there for a reason, so you can kind of straighten it out in case, you know, the box itself is not totally straight with everything. Okay, that way, alright, she's snug in place. And before we go ahead and put that cover on, I have another tool here, and we're going to test to make sure that the outlet's working correctly. I go turn the breaker on back real quick. Breaker is back on. I'm going to plug this in, and I've got, as you can see, I've got working lights on this here, okay? That means we've got good, correct power. I don't have anything reversed, anything switched, and I've got a full circuit there. That's good. So, we're just going to put the cover plate back on. We're going to finish this up, make it safe. Smaller straight screwdriver. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope I explained this well enough on how to change out your outlet, okay? Just like I said, sometimes outlets go bad, and a new outlet isn't that hard. Let's not be afraid of electricity, but let's respect it. Let's make sure that it's turned off before you mess with it, and it's put together clean and correctly, so there's no loose wires hanging out. Everything is in tight and secure before you finish this job, because we don't want to mess this up. If you're a kind of a person who seems to have problems with this, not saying that you're stupid, you might be a very, very smart, intellectual person, very successful in your career, but if you're the kind of person that does do-it-yourself things around the house and they generally end up like backfiring, let's not do this. But for those of you who have a mechanical aptitude, and electricity does not scare you, because if you're scared of this, you're probably going to mess it up because you're scared. But if you're not scared of it and you have a decent aptitude, this is a great do-it-yourself project to go change out those old switches, which I'll be doing in another video, and outlets like I just did here. So guys, please check out my website, greatwhiteninja.com, where I have electrical page and other things around the house and entertainment and cooking and other things like that. And please subscribe to the channel while you're here. Click that subscribe button because that helps out. As always, thanks again.